Daniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I got to have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. What's going on, family? Can't be out here looking like a dusty. And I can't be sounding like a dusty because I feel like my microphone is sounding like a dusty. So let's see if we can get that in order. Been having technical difficulties almost every single day, and I'm not liking it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not liking it. I'm not enjoying it at all, but I do love you. I do think that you... There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in the building, so on top of my game. I'm coming in through the ceiling. What up, though? What's going on, friends and family and everybody that continues to roll and rock out with Anton from AntonDaniels.com. It is Wednesday, October 5th, 2022, year of our Lord, and we are killing it. Absolutely, positively killing it. Do you know that every single goal that I've set out to accomplish, hey, we're going to go ahead and fix this right away. You know, every single goal, we want to acknowledge the dusties. We want to acknowledge the dusties. So, because you've subscribed and you've made up a new account, because I know that you're one of those dusties that we've gotten rid of at some point. I'm one of the only people that like to acknowledge the dusties, man. I am. All right, now y'all can get them out of here. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Get them on up out of here. Anyways, ain't that crazy? Like, if that's the best thing that you can come up with, make sure y'all get that Tej pack. 30% off your first order plus a free gift. If that's the greatest insult that you can come up with, I must be doing something absolutely positively exceptional. I took my daughter last night to the creative space. Yesterday. And we were going over the layout, and I just wanted to show her, and I just wanted to inspire her because she lives in a primary Jewish area in which she goes to school with mostly Jewish kids. And so as a result, she was off of school today. And so we was out last night, and I took her downtown, and we was in a creative space, and we went and got dessert and all of that good stuff. And it was a fun time. It was just, y'all do know that my primary life is being a father. That's my number one objective, right? Is to be a father. And my daughter is in such a good space. I was telling her, I said, "You're such a good girl, and I love you and all of this other type of stuff." Why would you want to insult a family man like me that can do so much for you? Do so much for you. I was showing my daughter my bank accounts and my brokerage accounts because I was going over her savings. Her savings not necessarily being her savings, but she gets a certain amount every 2 weeks, and she's required to put up at least 25% of her pay, right? And so she's been doing this since, man, she was what, 4 or 5 years old, as old as she's been able to talk and understand how to count. She's been literally saving and putting up her money. So she has her own checking account and savings account and things like that. Before we get into the whole Candace Owens, Roland Martin thing, she had her own savings account and a checking account and things like that. And I have her put up 25% every 2 weeks, right? And so every 2 months, we transfer that into her brokerage account, and then we go over the numbers. Well, her brokerage account is also under my name, obviously, so she can see an entire layout of how much she has. And so as a result, I go in and I show her, and she just so happened to glance over, and she was just like, "This is crazy, Dad. Like, it's insane the amount of money that you have invested and put up and all of this other type of stuff." And she was like, "I understand you now, though." And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "The fact that you keep going and you keep working and you keep leaving it all out on the line." I said, "Leslie, I got at least another 40 to 50 years in me. Why would I lay down now? Why would we chill now just because we hit the numbers? Why would we do that just because your college is paid for?" She said, "Yeah, I used to think, when I was a little, I wanted to get a scholarship." She said, "Now I'm just enjoying my childhood and just having a good time and making TikToks and being good in school and all of this other type of stuff," right? But let me just say this. This is one caveat that I want to give to you guys, because this is a part of the conversation that a lot of these people that are winning or successful or whatever, they don't talk about this. There's a threshold, okay? There's a threshold. And let me tell you what that threshold is. The threshold between being successful and overly successful. This is a part of the conversation that they don't tell you about. There's a threshold between being successful and overly successful. One of the things that I force people to do is paint the picture and the narrative when I'm in coaching calls for what it is that they want, right? What is the thing that I'm driving you towards? And then we reverse engineer it. And then I give them milestones, and then I hold them accountable and all of this other type of stuff. If you haven't got a coaching session yet, make sure you tap in with me. Email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com, and we're going to make sure we get you set up, right? And then make sure you join the Patreon. I was going through and I was checking with my editors last night, and so they almost done with the new interview that we about to drop inside of the Patreon. We'll do housekeeping in a minute right before we get into the Candace Owens things. But there's a threshold between being overly successful and successful. Now, success for a lot of people, they say that it's relative, but it's not. It's a real number. We all want nice cars. We all want to have massages. We all want to travel all the time. We want to have nice things. The only time that you can hear somebody say something stupid like, "Oh man, I don't care. All I need is a little beater and a car to get me to and from and a little house." Whenever you hear somebody say something like that, you know that they've lost in life. You know that they've accepted defeat, and they're in a space where they're either going to run in the Victim Olympics, or B, they're going to be this perpetual hater of other people that's overly successful, trying to minimize their success simply because they're unwilling to do the thing necessary in order to be even more successful than they are. We all got 2 hands, 2 feet. We all have sound mind, body, spirit. If you're watching this right now, it's a strong possibility that you have every tool that you need to be successful. So when you hear people talk like that, I just completely wipe them out of the conversation. The OGs do that a lot. The OGs do that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to add Roland Martin into this conversation. And let me mine this out real quick, y'all. And then we're going to get straight into the Candace Owens things. But we get rid of those people, right? And then there's success. Success is a standard by which you set for yourself, and you can largely measure it by what it is that you wanted back when you was a kid, when you was in high school. What was that car that you wanted to drive? Did you want to get married? Did you want to have a great relationship, right? How much money did you want to make? What was your dream career? All of these things before life starts to kick you in the butt, and then you settle for whatever your current state is, right? You settle for whatever it is around you. You settle for whatever the number is that they told you was average, just because you want to be able to fit in, because you understand that you've given up and you don't actually leave it all out on the floor every day, right? Success is the other side of that. Success is the other side of whoever the average person is in your high school class. Success is better than that. Now, we don't kill or go off on blue collar workers or whatever like that, because I believe that you can be a blue collar worker and get to your dreams, goals, and be successful, right? But the point that I'm making is that their standard don't have to necessarily be your standard. Now, there's a completely different other side of that part too, and let me break that down for you. Let's say you are in a space that I'm in, right? And I'm in this space that's largely like a catch-22, okay? The catch-22 is I won. Financially, I've won, right? I mean, life is great. Daughters, college funded, got every car I could ever dream of. Stock portfolio was exceptional. Businesses is booming. Content creation is off the chain. Corporate America, bags is insane. If you're a part of the Patreon, you've already seen my W-2s. You've seen my portfolio. I mean, real estate is out of control. Y'all see me purchasing land. We purchasing land now. We're not even purchasing property anymore. We're not purchasing homes, single family no more. We purchasing land, and we thinking about building right now, right? Everything is popping. Everything is great. Everything is awesome. There's a threshold though. And this is the thing that I'm struggling with. The threshold is, what number do you have to hit to where you can actually be really, really successful consistently, but then you're not overly burdened with the idea of success? It's a great problem to have, but it's a very, very real thing. And I'm telling you that, let's just say hypothetically, my number is $500,000 to $1.2 million a year. If I stay somewhere and paying myself $500,000 to $1.2 million a year, then I'm in a space where I can actually enjoy life. Anything above that, then I have to have my phone on 24 hours a day. I can't cut it off. Got overseas developers that work a completely different shift than you. You know, you're burdened with success because you work so much that you don't get an opportunity to really even be able to see what life is. And so it's that threshold that you're trying to balance, right? Because I do want to buy the Pistons. It's the thing that I push myself to do and keep that carrot in front of my face so that I can continue to be successful, right? You still want to drive yourself. You still don't want to be content. But then at what point do you work 18 hours a day, sleep 4 hours, and then you leave the rest of the time to your kid or your wife or the people that mean the most to you, right? I justified the idea of missing a family event last Saturday. I said, because listen, I'm working, I'm busy, I'm taking care of things. So in order to solve that, and it's been great. This past week, now that I'm starting to see the fruits of my labor and bringing different people into my team, I got a great team of editors. I got a phenomenal team of designers. I got some people that I'm working with in order to make my life easier, a second assistant, all of these different things. Now I'm in a space to where I can start to enjoy life a little bit more because I've taken that burden off of myself, and now I can relax. I can take my daughter down to the content creation space and then take her out to dinner afterwards. Those are the things that mean more to people. Once they've crossed that threshold, they have the opportunity to actually enjoy their life. And so I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of the other side of what success looks like. We're not talking about that dusty stuff. We're not comparing ourselves to the people that are average. We're actually trying to break through that threshold and that barrier. But once you go over and you shoot for the moon, they say you shoot for the moon and then you hit a star. I actually hit the moon. I wildly exceeded every single dream and thing that I've ever had on my bucket list as far as what success looks like. I shot for the moon and I hit a bullseye. And so now you have to start to balance, okay, am I in zero gravity? What does hanging out on this moon look like? And do I actually want to be a part of the star? You know what I'm saying? So That's the thing. That's the thing. Listen, this is what we talk about in the Bag Chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We are going to be in Miami for New Year's Eve. We are going to continue to drop this content. We do have a Patreon exclusive video coming this week. And I got a new interview dropping tomorrow. Tomorrow. So, if you bothered by that, let that be your problem. Let's continue to get into it, y'all. Shout out to the chat. What's going on, Big Sug? Says, congrats, Anton. Keep going. You are a motivation to us all. Thank you, my friend. And one of the reasons why I feel comfortable saying that I'm willing to accept that is because I am very, very average. C student, regular everyday guy, and I was able to become successful. So if I'm able to do it, let me give you the blueprint in order for you to be successful. Also, again, tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. If you need to kick it with me personally, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. So thank you, Big Sugs. I appreciate you and everybody that continues to hold me down. Everybody that is a part of the Bag Chasers that joined the Patreon and then tapped into the Discord. Thank you to all of my people that rock with me, including Natasha. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. All right. So listen, let's get into the show. I want to get into this Candace Owens reaction to herself wearing a White Lives Matter shirt. And then after that, I seen a video because I did not watch Candace's video. I did not watch Roland Martin's video, but I seen the title to them both. And I said, let me pull them both into the conversation. Roland Martin, I know hardly anything about him except for he's a pundit, right? He's a part of the old guard. My goal for the rest of the year is to try my hardest to get you guys to divest yourself from the old guard. The old guard is an old way of thinking that has not benefited Black people. It has not benefited society. It has not benefited anybody except for the person that continues to jump on that bandwagon and then somehow, some way find themselves with a voice that they then can take from you guys and then don't pour anything back into your community. Right? I was scrolling through. I got a list of names, right? I got a list of names of people that I keep tabs on. You know, I'm a petty. I'm very, very petty in a lot of ways. And I'm asking God to change me. I prayed to God this morning. I said, God, don't make me as petty as I am. Remove the petty label from me, right? Remove Petty Jackson from my disposition because I got a list of names and I keep them twice. I check them twice and I keep them in my back pocket. They're locked in my notes and I keep a list of names, right? Some of them are very, very, very small, minuscule, irrelevant people. They could be on the internet. They can be in real life, but I keep tabs on them and I have people that keep tabs on them as a part of their job, right? And so every once in a while, they'll hit me with something and say, yo, Anton, I caught an old video or old this or something like this, and that person was still talking about you. And most of these people are old guard guys. I would have you to know that the people that hate on me the most are older, washed up, never really accomplished anything, happy wife, happy life. Their wives are pegging them at home. Guys, they're the guys that sold you a narrative but really ruined your community. Most of them are Gen Xers and boomers, right? Not all Gen Xers and boomers are trash. I actually got some Gen Xers and boomers that rock with me that are doing some phenomenal things, and I love them, pushing themselves even today to be great. But most of these guys are Gen Xers and boomers, and they are so bitter, hateful, ugly, bitter, disguise themselves as righteous guys for the Lord. For the Lord. Ugly, hateful, bitter. And so when I see people like Roland Martin, and I just looked at his hair. I looked at his hair. I looked in his eyes. I looked at his face. And I said, this guy got to be a part of the old guard because he just resembles some of the very same people that hate Anton from Anton Daniels so bad. The type of guys that send you emails and say, I hope that your marriage fail. And then I don't respond to it, but I do a little research to find out who's behind the email. And then I just add them to the list, check it twice, and then I keep them on my list. Can't tell you anything more than that. But people think that they're getting away with certain things that they say, and they not. I got them on my list. I'm Petty Jackson. I keep an eye out on them. Let's get into the show. Let's get into the show. I agree, and I see you, Grad. The boomers are wild. The boomers are so wild, and then they'll get on the millennials and talk about what's wrong with them when they're the ones that ruined our communities. They the one that made y'all. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to get into this show. So, first things first, again, thank you guys for continuing to support the platform. I'd appreciate it if you at the very least hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. It is very much appreciated. And then in addition to that, if you can, check out the Patreon. It's only one tier left. And it is very cheap. It is very, very cheap. And I've kept it that way because I want to continue to pour into people. That link is in the description. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let's get into the show. Shout out to Tej Hanley. Get your Tej pack, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. We're going to get it popping. So, Candace Owens, looking like an angel in this picture. This is literally a screenshot. Shout out to my editors for making my life easier. This is literally a screenshot. Looking like an angel. Candace Owens. I do have a hit list, KR1. I got one. Not a hit list. It's a watch list. Not a hit list, a watch list. But Candy Owens. I'm going to call her Candy. Like Candyland. Candy Owens has consistently made headlines over. Listen, Candy Owens has been successful in her journey to become one of the biggest voices in society today for the left, or I'm sorry, for the right. Has become one of the biggest voices. Now, I don't agree with everything that Candy says, but I do like Candyland. I don't agree with everything that Candy says, but I do like Candyland. You know what I'm saying? I think that she is great. I think that she's awesome. And I think that she has a strong head on her shoulders. And a lot of that is not just based off of her talking points, but a lot of it is actually based off of her book. It's based off of her book. Let me grab Candyland's book real quick. Just a second. If you have not read this book, ladies and gentlemen, you should read it. I think that it is a great book. I actually read it myself. And it helped me to see her a little bit differently than I was originally looking at her. But we're going to get right into it. She did a video and she broke down the whole White Lives Matters, apparently. I haven't seen it yet. But she did a video of her whole White Lives Matters stunt with her and Kanye West. Kanye West went on to tweet about how Black Lives Matters is dead now. You're welcome. That's what he said, literally. It's dead now. You're welcome. And so I want to deep dive into it. Let me jump right into the video, and then we're going to break it down, ladies and gentlemen. Cool? Thank you for hitting the like for the YouTube algorithm.
Is true. The internet is broken. You cannot use the internet today. It's not working anywhere in the world because I wore a t-shirt alongside Ye West, Kanye West, which read White Lives Matter. And God forbid you wear a t-shirt that says White Lives Matter. We wore this for his Yeezy Season 9 fashion show here in Paris. And people...
She sounds a little stopped up. Like she's been really, really busy and she got a lot going on in her life. Let's continue.
People are upset. They're very upset about that. They're going, why on earth? How?
Hey, she got that rolly on though. She got that rolly on. She got that rolly on though. I can recognize it. I can see it from a mile away. Shout out to Candyland.
Could you? How dare you wear this shirt? How dare you make a mockery of the BLM movement? In addition to this, in case you missed it on Kanye West's Instagram page, he wrote this: everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome.
Let's stop there.
Let's
stop there. We're going to break this down frame by frame. How many people, don't be afraid, nobody's going to come for you, we're not going to remove you from the chat, nothing like that. How many of you guys actually believe and support the Black Lives Matters movement and organization? How many of you people are behind the Black Lives Matters movement and organization? Feel free to put a 1 in the chat. You may disagree with me. That's fine. I'm not going to ban you or remove you. We're just going to have civil discourse. I'm curious as to how many of you people actually support and stand by Black Lives Matters. Everybody is saying, nope, never did. No way. Not at all. Never. Jesus. Some of y'all that ain't even never even typed in here is like, nah, never. Some of y'all just so hateful towards Candace Owens that y'all just like, yo, I don't like her at all. Malevolent Elephant said, I support them as a phrase. Black Lives Matter as an actual movement is a joke. That's interesting. I don't see no ones in the chat. Where's the ones at? It gotta be some ones. It was a lot of y'all that was supporting the movement. It was a whole lot of people that was supporting the movement when Black Lives Matter was popping. Where's all the ones at? Come on, y'all, speak up. Not the organization. All Lives Matters. Support the movement, not the org. The ones are scared, Connie. Nope, read their mission statement and they never talked about black fathers. Okay, there we go. We got some ones in the chat. Let's get it popping. Acadia says she a one. Hotep Brooks says they a one. Frederick Harris said they a one. We only got 3. We got hundreds of people in here. We only got 1 Black Lives Matter person. Talk to Me Quan says, a lot of y'all got the organization mixed up with the meaning of the phrase. Well, maybe you can come up here and explain it to us towards the end of the show. Stick around. Alvin S says, shout out to Petty Action Jackson. I just purchased my flight from Miami for New Year's Eve. DC, NYC, and Miami. Shout out to everybody that's seen me in the Patreon meetups. We did Vegas, Los Angeles. We did Detroit, New York, Atlanta, DC, Houston, Miami. We was all over the freaking map. Shout out to Alvin S for the super chat. I appreciate you for the 10 ball, my friend. B says 1, but I'm Gen Z. It was a part of the starter pack. That was a good one. They say we gonna rescue you ones. Can't donate to a phrase. Pretty Boy 79 says, nah, I supported the phrase Black Lives Matters, but as a black father, I didn't see enough done for families or communities or kids or black people or neighborhoods or anything. I've seen a lot done for modern women, though. Shout out to Pretty Boy for holding me down. All right, let's continue.
The only response or the only thing that he has said publicly about wearing the t-shirt. And you obviously know, if you're watching this, where I stand on the Black Lives Matter movement. In fact, I'm doing an entire documentary to expose the fraudulent nature of that movement and the organization that stood behind it and benefited billions and billions of dollars because they elicited Black grief. They sold Black people a concept of their oppression. They used poorer Black Americans as a marketing firm for their organization.
Hold on, let me back that up. So, as we look at this, I want y'all to tell me what lies are being told. I'm going to go back 30 seconds. I want you guys to give me the insight on what lies are being told. Divest yourself from not being objective to the messenger. Let's look at the message and let's see if she's telling a lie or not. You know, I have no problem holding people accountable based off of what it is that I hear come out of their mouth.
About wearing the t-shirt. And you obviously know, if you're watching this, where I stand on the Black Lives Matter movement. In fact, I'm doing an entire documentary to expose the fraudulent nature of that movement and the organization that stood behind it and benefited billions and billions of dollars.
Billions? Wow. I thought that they only stole like over 100 million allegedly, but we gon' deep dive into it.
Because they elicited Black grief. They sold Black people a concept of their oppression. They used poorer Black Americans as a marketing firm for their organization. And where did that money go? Well, certainly not to Black America. So I had this wonderful thing this morning.
So here's the key. Here's the biggest thing. An organization, this is what she's saying, I'm summarizing it. An organization that used poor Black people and their support for each other as a marketing ploy to sell you guys t-shirts, elicit donations, and then poured nothing back into the community, but made sure that all of their homies was taken care of. and they was whining and toasting and dining while black people were being killed all across America, including Chicago, and they were advocating for divesting from the police, defund the police. Let's continue.
This wonderful experience, and I'll tell you why it was wonderful. I had breakfast with Ye at his hotel, and it was wonderful because it was one of those moments where I realized how far I've come from where I was. The first time that I ever came to Paris, ironically, I was having breakfast with a woman whose family I worked for, and she was so awful to me. And I'll never forget this moment because it almost ruined Paris for me. It was a wealthy woman who told me as we sat in her hotel, which was the George Cinq Hotel, she said, "Candace, a girl like you shouldn't even be here. Look how expensive the omelet is that you're eating. Do you see how expensive it is? An omelet is $35. A girl like you can't afford this hotel, or you can't afford to stay here." And I remember I was so upset that when I left that breakfast, I was crying because I was so angry that anybody had spoken to me like that. And fast forward, I guess, more than 10 years now, and I am sitting at a hotel with having an omelet, by the way, with Ye West, and we are discussing the internet, which we just broke over this t-shirt. And I just started jotting down some things that he was saying because he was actually giving an interview to another magazine. And he said, "I perform for an audience of one." And
So let's hold right there. So she said that the first time that she went to Paris, and she didn't say whether the person was black or white. She said she worked for a wealthy family, and that family was just telling her how she needs to be thankful to even be there because a person like her couldn't afford to even have a $35 omelet. And Candace isn't that old. So this couldn't have been too far in the past, but she was just saying that, yo, I was reflecting on how far I came based off of the idea that I was just having an omelet with Ye, and she got her roly on, right? And she said she was just having an omelet, observing and taking notes from somebody that is transformational and has become a billionaire themselves. And Ye specifically said, "I perform for a party of one." That's a pretty dope statement. Let's continue.
that's God. I loved that statement, so I wrote it down. He also said, quote, "Utopia is possible for not who we are being led by." I'm going to say that again. Utopia is possible for not who we are being led by, which of course leads me to think about Black Lives Matter again, and these people who claim to be leaders and knew that what they were doing was further dividing the masses. I mean, the whole idea here via the Black Lives Matter movement was to make sure that Black people saw oppression and saw white supremacy surrounding them, and convincing them that if they leaned into this narrative, that somehow their lives would be better. It was a mirage. Actually, that's a word that Ye used during the breakfast too. It was basically a mirage, right? This idea that somehow all we needed to do was burn down our own neighborhoods. All we needed to do was have our youth wearing a George Floyd t-shirt. All we needed to do was loot Targets and loot these expensive stores, and somehow justice would be delivered. And
Now, that is a very interesting point, right? And the reason why it is interesting is because we've seen the same narrative play out in 67. If you've done any kind of research, right? Because I was born specifically in 82, so I'm 40 years old. But I seen all of the residual effects of what happened during the 67 riots, specifically in Detroit, play out in my childhood, right? The neighborhoods that was supposed to be great, which was a neighborhood that I lived in, actually turned out to be one of the places that has formed me into and changed my perspective towards what black means today, right? You burn down your own neighborhoods, you go and purchase t-shirts from people not of. You don't know who made those t-shirts. All you know is Gildan. Gildan. That's all you know is Gildan. You don't know who made the t-shirts. You don't know who benefited from it. And so the only difference between now and 67 is that we have social media in which we can have civil discourse, and we can trace back and capture exactly what happened, and then hold people accountable that was supporting the organization in the first place and made sure that you bought your George Floyd t-shirt in which the Black Lives Matter organization obviously benefited from. Let's continue.
Of course it wasn't. There is a deep irony and a sad irony when you consider that wearing a t-shirt has led such a tremor throughout the world, right? A t-shirt that says White Lives Matter, which should be implied, right? White Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Asian Lives Matter. It should be implied. Yet people are angry and they are being vicious online because they can't believe that we have the audacity to detract from the movement, which is a lie, right? Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives Matter, then some of these things that we have been talking about on this show, things I've been talking about throughout my entire political career, would be getting attention, not the t-shirt, right? Not the t-shirt, but these actual statistics that matter.
Uh-oh. You know, people hate when you start pulling up the statistics because then they can't argue with it. And so, instead of arguing against the facts and being objective, they start arguing with emotion. But let's see what the facts are.
Here are just a few of them. 117,626 Black children were killed by surgical abortion in the United States in 2018, right? Those are...
Is that accurate? 2018, 117,000 abortions. That is a lot of abortions in 2018 alone. And it wasn't even a pandemic back then.
Recent statistics. Just so we are clear, abortion in America has contributed to the greatest decline in Black population since the first Black slaves arrived.
So you telling me it ain't the police? I would be led to believe that it's the police that's preventing us from actually getting to where we need to be. But let's continue.
You will hear people often talk about lynching. This is like a new thing. They like neoliberalism. They could talk about lynching and they compare everything to lynchings. It's just like being lynched. Well, for your reference, you should know that 4,467 people in the United States were victims of lynchings from 1883 to 1941.
1883 to 1941. 1883 to 1941. That's not even 60 years. 4,000 people. Let's continue.
3,265 of those people were Black.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep talking about lynching as this horrific thing that's happened in the past, right? And yet when you say to people today that 20 million Black infants were aborted, they don't even blink an eye. They don't even bat an eyelash.
So she's saying that the image is more powerful than the statistics. She's saying that there's been over 20 million abortions within the Black community specifically, but there were a little over 3,000 Black lynchings, but we lean more towards the thing that's race related than the thing that's actually affecting us. I'm just restating from a C student's perspective what she's talking about. Let me restate it one more time. 20 million abortions within the Black community, but 3,000 lynchings at a time where Black people were really discriminated against in real life. I'm just reading what she's saying.
No, less than batting an eyelash. They tell those same Black people that they need to be outraged when a Planned Parenthood clinic shuts down. 20 million. When you talk about people that are killed in the millions, when you talk about the Jewish Holocaust, when you talk about the Rwandan Holocaust.
So the talented one, the reason why it's related is because she's specifically highlighting and using as a talking point the idea that the things that really is supposed to matter to Black people is not the things that matter to you, but it's the things that you're being distracted from, specifically by the organizations that are benefiting from your hard work, your earned money, and then your donations and your purchases. So for example, right? Let me correlate this, and I'm going to assume this is where she's going. Let me bring this back in for you, talented one. Okay? She's specifically saying that you're distracted by the dumb stuff that's being promoted on the news that is then prompting you to tear up your own neighborhoods instead of the things that's actually meaningful. And if we held Black Lives Matters organizations accountable like they truly should be, then you would be asking the right questions. And the questions are, why are they asking to remove the police from these neighborhoods or to defund the police and then send a resource officer over for a domestic dispute? Where is the monies that's actually been spent in the communities to help improve the conditions of Black people if it matters so much? If it matters that much, then how come you can't figure out the idea that the people that are killing you the most actually look like you? So if you solve the problems in your own house first, you wouldn't have to ask for a handout from people that don't look like you. It's a correlation. So roll with us here so we can have the whole conversation.
People are, oh my gosh, oh my, this is horrible. Of course, because it is horrible. But for whatever reason, since we have convinced ourselves to genocide our own offspring, nobody cares. Nobody cares. They don't bat an eyelash. In fact, they tell you that it is your right. So think about that. 20 million Black babies, and yet a t-shirt is what got attention last night. In 2012, more Black babies were killed by abortion in New York City than were born.
Now, I'm not necessarily well-versed or the person that can speak specifically on the whole abortion statistic, but at the same time, it is amazing to me that people will get outraged over a t-shirt versus what happens every single day in your own communities. Because I see no conversation being had or resources being poured into by the people that are championing it the most. Because I can say that I do pour my resources into it, so I can have that conversation, right? I do donate. I do volunteer work, and I do put my own money into the communities that I'm passionate about, which is one of the reasons why I'm pouring a whole lot of money back into Detroit today.
Imagine that, your abortion rate being higher than your live birth rate in a city, and they celebrate it. Do you remember notoriously the governor lit up the city pink when they talked about expanding abortion rights, expanding the Black genocide? Light up the skyscrapers pink. It is a win. A win for who, though, is the question. A win for who? 79% of Planned Parenthood abortion facilities are located within walking distance of neighborhoods that have a higher proportion of Latina and Black women. But that's not the only thing that's killing Black America, literally. We also know obesity is killing Black America. I wish, you know what we should have done? We should have put a White Lives Matter t-shirt on Lizzo. Maybe we could have gotten a lot of attention about obesity and how it's actually killing Black Americans.
She said we should have put a White Lives Matter t-shirt on Lizzo, and then maybe we would have got the attention of the people to actually have a real conversation on what's killing Black people. She said it. I'm just reviewing it.
Obesity is the number one killer in America. Okay. I know Black Lives Matter told you it was police shootings, right? It made you think that thousands of Black men were dying at the hands of police. No, absolutely not. I think in the year 2020, was it 9?
Y'all said Lizzo gonna send them people after her. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Candace got a stronger army than Lizzo do. I think Candace ain't Ari Spears. Candace is not Tiffany Haddish. Candace is a whole nother monster and a whole nother animal. And I don't think that Lizzo want no parts of having a conversation with Candace in the same way that Cardi B didn't want one either.
Black men were killed by police, 9 of them. But obesity is killing people at a very high rate, and Black women have the highest rates of obesity. So the number one killer, and of course, we sit at the top of it. Black women, 56.9% of us are classified as obese. We shouldn't talk about that. You know why? Because it didn't have a t-shirt on it that said White Lives Matter. You talk about criminality. No one wants to talk about it if you're not talking about a police officer, right? People don't want to talk about the fact that Black people are slaughtering other Black people.
They don't like this part of the conversation, Candy. If you bring up that Black people are slaughtering other Black people, boy, will they defend the slaughter versus hold accountable the people in the community. I've literally sat on panels and had people tell me that they would not snitch and they don't believe that anybody belongs in jail, but they are okay and not tripping off the idea of when they see somebody breaking somebody else's car or running somebody else's house or hurt somebody else. I've had people, more than one person on a panel, sit there and tell me that that's not the big deal. The big deal is white supremacy. It's not the fact that we slaughter each other every day. It's not the fact that you wouldn't call the police if you see me shot in the street because you believe in no snitching. It's the fact that the white man is somehow, some way holding you down, yet we have black immigrants coming over into this country and killing it every single day.
Want to talk about black on black crime, it doesn't matter because we're doing it to ourselves, right? Just like we're aborting our own babies. Applaud it. Applaud it. In fact, put it in the music. Put the criminality in the music and celebrate it.
Shout out the rap music.
Give black criminality a Grammy so that we understand that this is ours. Sit in the cool club, right? Now we know what it means to be black. Now we know what it means to not be a traitor to your own race. Murder your own race.
She cooking right now.
If you don't do it in your womb, grab a gun. Kill the guy next to you. Applause all around the world. Per the CDC, African Americans are 4 times more likely to be killed by a gun than the overall population. And once again, it's
according to the CDC, black Americans are 4 times more likely to be killed by a gun. That's what she just said. 4 times. Hold on. Come on, y'all. Y'all can't sit here and argue with the statistics just because you may not like Candace. Black Americans are 4 times more likely to be killed by a gun than the rest of the population. That is a problem. You can't sit here and keep hitting me with the proximity argument and saying that, yo, Anton, well, crime happens based off of proximity and white people kill white people and Hispanics kill Hispanics and Mexicans kill Mexicans and Asians kill Asians. Then why are black people more than 4 times more likely to be killed by a gun than anybody else in the rest of the population? Look, y'all still, this is insane. Sounds like a gun control argument. I agree, Rita. I agree wholeheartedly. I agree. This is why I'm so focused on my bag chasers, man, because sometimes when I go to sleep at night, even after you just read the statistics, sometimes when I go to sleep at night, I'm just like, God, do we have a reprobate mind? Do we have a reprobate mind? Do y'all know what reprobate means? Let me look up the definition just to make sure that I'm on the same page. Reprobate, unprincipled person, often used humorously or affectionately. Number 2, a sinner who is not of the elect or is predestined to damnation. Predestined to damnation. That's what reprobate means. Predestined to damnation. Jesus Christ. We used to pray against that when we was younger in the church. When we used to try to help people and they wouldn't want to help themselves, and we would say, Lord, rebuke a reprobate mind. Rebuke them from being predestined to damnation. Rebuke them from celebrating the things that are the worst for us and defending it while also holding accountable no one that is doing the things that is the worst for the community and then going against the very people that's actually doing something in a positive way. Rebuke us from being reprobate, predestined to damnation.
Not a white person that is pulling the trigger. It's another black person. We account for almost 40% of all of the homicide offenders in the United States. 40%.
13% of the population, 40% of the homicides. 13% of the population, 40% of the homicides. Do the math. How do 13% of the population commit almost half of the killings? Shout out to P&B Rock and Young Dolph. This is kind of sad.
Coming from the smallest piece of the population. We're talking about what, 7% of the population is Black men, and they're accounting for 4.
Oh, she didn't even say Black men and Black women. She said Black men alone. 7% of the population accounts for 40% of the killings. That is sad. That is straight up sad. 7% of the population is primarily responsible for 40% of the killings. But I'm supposed to take pride in being a Black man specifically. And then I got people, my own people that look just like me will come after me and talk about how much they hate me, but then they celebrate the things that are the worst for us.
40% of all of the homicides in the United States, but let's not talk about that. In fact, let's call that racist to even acknowledge that truth. To talk about the ills in our own community, that's racism. Let's just move on for it. People love to talk about the incarceration rates, right? Because the incarceration rates allow you to understand the result without ever having to talk about the problem, right? You don't have to talk about the equation. I'll just give you the answer. Black men are incarcerated, right? It says here that there are nearly 5 times the rate of Black men in prison than white people. Oh, perfect narrative. It must be racism. No, it has nothing to do with the fact that we're the most murderous group in America. Has nothing to do with that. Of course, 1 + 1 = 2, but let's focus on the 2 and not the 1 + 1.
I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Listen, for those of you that disagree, and I'm going to get to the Roland Martin. I'm going to get to the whole Roland Martin thing. For those of you that disagree, feel free to cam up. This is not for people that agree with me. This is not for people that agree with me. This is for people that disagree with me. I am dropping a link in the chat.
On everything except for the fact that we also know that these individuals that are ending up in prison, or these individuals that are ending up killed, or these infants that are being taken out of their mother's own womb, they're all coming from broken families. Families that have been strategically broken down in a culture that further promotes the breakdown of family, that corrodes the value of women, that corrodes the value of men. But hey, that wasn't wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt. So who cares? Who cares? Who cares if 20 million Black babies are dead? Who cares if...
So it sounds like, and this is just my observation, right? And again, that link is only for people that disagree with me, that want to come up and tell me why I should be looking at it differently. I am open to the possibility. If I see nobody cam up and actually come in and tell me why I'm off, I'm going to assume that I am absolutely positively correct. Please have your camera on in good lighting. Shout out to Ennis Lobby. Says big, the woke people still hating Candy. Oh, why did you leave? I thought you was gonna be up here. I'm gonna leave that link up, but we're gonna continue to hear what Candace got to say in the meantime.
Half of our Black men are locked up. Who cares if Black women, half of them are clinically obese and spelling out their own death sentence?
Ooh, she said Black women actually weigh more than the Black men that are available. I know that's gonna hit hard. I know that you're in there laughing, Rita. I know that thing. She said Black women actually weigh more than the Black men that they trying to talk to. They don't want to hear that. Look, the very ones that was winning in the Victim Olympics. Yeah. I agree with her on that one, Anton. The link is pinned to the top of the chat for y'all to be able to cam up.
Who cares if we represent 40% of all homicide offenders? It doesn't matter because we didn't put it in a Black Lives Matter tee.
Ain't nobody.
You know what else doesn't matter? It doesn't matter at all.
Thank you for the super chat, but ain't
Don't
nobody
even
coming up
pay
here
attention to the fact that 74% of Black boys in California can't pass a basic reading exam.
Did she say 70% of Black boys in California can't pass a basic reading exam? Jesus. Are we that reprobate in real life? V. Cartwright, you know ain't nobody coming up here to debate, to tell me that I'm off. You know, listen, they shout from the mountaintops on Twitter. They repost on Instagram, and then they have their little panels behind their avatars on YouTube. But very rarely will you get somebody that will actually cam up with me to say anything to my face, let alone on a panel. Lil Black Duck 2001 says, from 2010 to 2001 to 2021, the Black population went from 12.3% to 12.6%. Hispanics went from 16.4 to 18.9. If folks think we are we on our own, now you just wait until we're officially a minority, a minor minority. Lil Black Duck 2001. Based off of what she's telling me, if we commit 40% of the crime and we can't pass a basic reading exam off of a 70% clip in California, I'm not sure that I would want us to repopulate the earth or America in a general sense, because then that would mean that crime would go up, right? I mean, if we just doing it by the numbers, that would mean that I really wouldn't be able to. I would have to get 4 guns instead of 2. Sheesh. This is insane.
You know why? Because we love ignorance. We should celebrate ignorance, right?
Yeah, that's
Who
true.
cares that across 5 schools in an inner city like Baltimore, they couldn't find a single child that was proficient in reading and in writing? Who cares? Who cares that 3 out of 4 Black boys in California schools cannot meet writing standards? Who cares?
3 out of 4, 75% of Black boys in California can't meet writing standards. She's spitting on y'all today.
Who cares? It's not in a White Lives Matter t-shirt. So
Trail 5, this is a neutral platform because Anton is not going to kick you off. I am not going to mute you. Stop making excuses. Cam up if you really think so, or stay running in the Victim Olympics. I'm looking to be educated. I'm not hostile today. I'm chilling. I'm relaxing. I'm just reviewing the video.
We won't talk about the fact that nearly 80% of Black boys in the 4th grade failed to meet state reading standards.
That's sad.
None of that stuff, for whatever reason, resonates. No one's ever outraged. It never trends on Twitter. Last night, White Lives Matter was trending on Twitter
to get these guys back up.
Kanye West had the nerve and the gall to put that t-shirt on. White Lives Matter. Now the press, how dare you? How dare you? What a form of engaging in white supremacy. None of this that I just read to you is white supremacy, but the t-shirt is a form of white supremacy. You know what the problem is? The problem is not what's happening inside the households or what's happening on the
they don't actually. Let me tell you why people won't cam up when they disagree. Because they know that I'm right. They know that I'm right. And they want to say something, but they can't say something because it actually will. I don't want to discourage somebody from coming up. So let's continue.
Streets or the slaughtering that's taken place. The problem is not the women that have been trained to kill their own offspring, not to.
Give me a second. Let me see what we got going on. One brave soul. Is that O'Dane? Give me a peace sign, O'Dane. Yeah, we do. Give me a second. Let me get him up here. Anton does not silence people on his platform. Anton looks to have conducive conversations. You now have the floor, O'Dane. How you doing, my friend?
Well, thanks for having me on.
Thank you for joining. What are your thoughts?
Most of what she's saying is true. However, I disagree with some of the stuff. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is the fact that when I was in college, we did a lot of studies on statistics based on specific demographics, the Black community, Asians, all the other groups. And when it comes to killing, murder, all those type of crime, quote me, I know some of those stuff I can't say on YouTube because they censor it. But the FBI website actually keep a data based on the percentage of crimes that occur based on demographics.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look on that specific chart, white people are always at the top for committing the most crimes.
Well, let's look at it.
That's a fact. So
look at it.
Yes, we will. So what I'm saying is, when I dig deeper into
so are you wait. So give me a second. Let me just, because I don't have the statistics, so I'm gonna pull it up. Are you saying that Black people don't commit 40% of the murders in the United States of America?
I'm saying black people commit um probably
He said crime, not murder.
amongst
No, no,
amongst
no, no,
their
no, 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 no. She didn't say crime. She said murder.
No,
murder
no, no. But
amongst
I'm saying he said crime, not
No,
murder.
but
yeah.
we're not debating what he's saying. We're debating what she said. She said 40% of the murders in the United States are committed by black people.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
So what are we talking about then?
I'm talking
We're
about
talking
that.
about okay. Well, we're talking
Yeah.
about saying black people are slaughtering black people. That is not a true statement. We're talking about a minority of black people. We're only talking about maybe 7,000 black people killing another 7,000 black people. But then you throw that on all black people.
Nobody
How
threw
is
it
that
on
supposed to?
all. So who threw it on all black people?
By saying black people slaughtering other black people. That is a general statement. How can you take a minority, a very small minority, and generalize to a whole 40 million people?
Because see, this is the problem with people, right? Is because they take what's being said out of context in order to be able to substantiate their argument. This is how I know people aren't listening effectively. The point that she's making is, if Black Lives Matters, why are we not focusing on the biggest problem? Nobody extrapolated it over into all black people. What we said was the organizations that label themselves this slogan aren't actually focusing on the problems that is happening within the black community.
I agree. I agree with
So
that.
what are
But
you
what I'm
talking
saying,
about then?
you say, but then you when you put hyperbole in there, like black people are slaughtering black people, that is a general
They
statement.
are. When
They're
we say
not.
when we
A
say
small
no 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 no
minority
no
of
no no
black
no no
people.
no, because you off, and I'm gonna tell you why you off. When my
Okay.
man came up here and said white people commit the most crime, he didn't separate it by saying a certain type of white people. He said white people. And now you want me to separate it in order to be able to substantiate your argument by saying the certain type of black people, then keep that same energy when he first started stating the statistics in the first
Okay.
place. Well, no.
All right.
Hold on. Why did we run in the Victim Olympics? I'm just
This
curious.
is not this is not Victim Olympics.
Okay, well, what is it?
This is literally stats and statistics. When you use percentages and numbers, you don't look at total numbers, you can get a conclusion that is not accurate when you use percentages. Because I can say it can be two people. I can say 50% of murders were
I'm
black
gonna
people.
get y'all some help
But it
because
was two
y'all
people.
two ain't cutting it. I'm gonna leave y'all up here, but I'm gonna get y'all some help. I'm gonna get a third contestant for the Price is Right because y'all not able to substantiate your argument effectively. I'm gonna get y'all some help. Don't worry about it. We're gonna have a
Literally,
conversation
literally.
today. We're gonna have a conversation today. Hold on. We're gonna get y'all some help. Greg, you ready to come on up to the Price is Right too? Greg, you there? Greg, give me a peace sign, bro. Come on, Greg. Come on up to the Price is Right. I see your degrees in the background. I believe that you can help us out here. Because we're gonna have this conversation today and we're not gonna move, we're not gonna skip around and none of that. I'm open to the possibility that I'm off. I am genuinely open to the possibility that I'm off. But y'all can't move the goalpost on me, man. Not today. Let me get Greg up here, see what he's talking about. If Greg can't cut it, then we're gonna bring somebody else up here. Hold on, let me make sure. Greg left. We'll see if we get Greg back. Dom, you're gonna have to get on camera to be able to have this conversation, big dog. Go ahead. I'm listening to y'all.
Yeah, so basically what I was saying when I came up and I made my first statement about the statistics and with white people being at the top, I'm basically generalizing just like everyone else is. I'm not gonna specify and say only this percentage of white because from since I've been listening, it's all been
So your
generalities.
argument is completely different from his argument, and so he can't finish your sentence to be able to substantiate your point because he got a completely different point. He's saying that we need to differentiate between who's committing the crime in the black community and not, and you saying that we need to be speaking in general.
No, I'm not saying speak in general. I'm basically responding to what has been said pretty much that black people commit 40% of murders. And I'm responding by stating a stats that's on the FBI website that anybody could go on the FBI website and look it up now. And it show you the list. Crimes slash murders and rape based on demographics. And it's always been the same with uh, white people at the top, blacks in second.
So, but wait. You said you didn't disagree. You saying that white people commit the majority of the crime, but black people are committing 40% of the murders. You saying that that's a fact, right?
I'm saying black people commit 40% of the murder amongst themselves. They don't venture out their communities and go into white areas. That's basically.
I'm gonna get the numbers in a minute. What's going on, Greg? And y'all more than welcome to jump in all together. Greg, can you hear me? You there?
Hey, yes, I can. I can hear you. Can you
What's
hear me?
going on, bro?
Okay, let me try this.
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
So, what are your thoughts? I'm about to bring you up in a second, bro.
What's
What are
going
your
on?
thoughts?
Well, I mean, like, Black Lives Matter, right? But we are not, as a black community, we're not taking care of ourselves, right? You cannot sit around and wait for some organization.
You going in and out, big dog. I don't know what's up with your stuff.
Let me try. Yeah, let me try this.
So I'm about to bring up something really quickly.
How's
Give me a
that?
second. I can hear you. I'm just waiting on you to.
Okay.
I like
I can
Candace
hear you.
Owens, by the way.
Yeah, but
I agree with
if you look at
you.
look, Candace Owens, she makes a lot of good points.
Hold on. Let me just look at
You know, you
this.
could ignore a lot of other facts, right? You look at the people, who's the people who are committing the crimes, right? In any society, you'll always find who, uh, you know, in
This said, who are the victims of
economical
violent
committing
crime?
these crimes. It doesn't
Hold
matter
on, hold
what
on, hold
color
on.
they
Give me
are.
a second.
Everybody
Who are the
has-
victims of violent crime? It says
huh?
teenage black males have the highest victimization rate, while
Rate.
elderly white females have the lowest rate. Let me just
Rate.
mine this out.
What
This
website
isn't
are
this
you on?
isn't talking about murder specifically. This is just saying violent crime because I want to
Again,
So
that's percentage. Rate.
my was
just
I'm
just
on
give
the
me a
Not,
second. The percentages is based off to the entire population. It's not based off of.
but it's a rate, though. It's a rate. That is a percentage. I'm telling you, it's not total numbers.
yeah, that's not
So,
total
yeah,
numbers. That's
they
why I need to
are
yeah
much
website.
more vulnerable to violent
Homicide
crime.
data were reported on 25,000 offenders. Oh, that was in 1992. I don't want to use that.
Are you able to access the information on the FBI website? Anybody can access this.
I'm about to
Everybody's
bring
watching.
up I'm gonna bring up logic real quick.
If you're watching now, everybody could go on the FBI website and look up crimes based on
I'm
demographics.
gonna do it in a minute. Don't worry. Give me a second.
Okay. I just wanted
And
people
the
to be
power
aware time
murder.
people talk
Let that be
topic don't cover
but
everything that
but
actually they target a certain group of people and make them look like
Ain't nobody
the big
targeting a
book.
certain group of people. The point of the matter is, the fact of the matter is if it's an issue, why are we not addressing the issues within the community instead of
No,
leaning on the idea that somebody is painting a negative picture of you? Listen, this is my perspective. If it's one murder in the community, then that's the thing that we need to be focused on. If it's only one, if it's two or three, if it's only a percentage of a percentage point of a murder within the community, that's the thing that we need to be focused on instead of being focused on what narrative is being painted of you. Let me tell you something. I don't care today. I don't give a flying fuck about what nobody say about me. The only thing that I'm focused on is 100% of my energy on what's going on in my own household, in my own bag chasers group, and my own people. If I see my daughter step out of line even a little bit, I don't sit there and say, well, everybody else's daughter is doing it, or I don't like the percentage that the teachers is painting on my daughter. I deal with my daughter and I say, yo, what is wrong with you and why you can't get your act together? If the majority of our energy was dedicated to that instead of trying to substantiate an argument, we would fix half of the problems in a community. But y'all so busy running in the victim Olympics trying to substantiate an argument instead of trying to deal with the problems. Because if Black Lives Matter truly, that's what you would spend all of your energy on. Fixing the things that matter to Black people or affect Black people. You so busy trying to validate yourself to white people or compare yourself to the Asian community or Hispanics that you can't even get your own households in order. And as long as you dedicate your energy to that, which is one of the things that she's trying to substantiate inside of this argument, and she's using these statistics to do it, and you can't see how she's absolutely annihilating the whole Black Lives Matter movement, community, whatever y'all want to talk about, is she substantiated by saying, listen, if this is an issue and this is an issue and this is an issue, even if you don't like her statistics, if these things are an issue, why aren't you focusing on the issue that's actually meaningful to Black people and affecting Black people instead of trying to make yourself look good in front of other communities? I'm just curious. Why is that?
Nobody's
number
really
one,
trying
you can walk in dumb at the same time. You can address both of those issues.
No, you can't. No, you
Yes,
can't. No, you can't. You listen, the Bible say first get the beam out of thine own eye. No, don't walk and chew gum. Learn to walk. Who puts gum in their baby's mouth while they trying to teach them how to walk? Fix your community. Before I ever came on the internet and I said anything to hold anybody accountable, I was first accountable in my own household and in my own marriage. I can't give you marriage advice if my marriage is fucked up. I can't tell you to respect my household if I'm not respecting my own household. No, you cannot walk and chew gum. You tripping over your feet and you busting your face wide open, bro.
That's a lie. You can do two things at once. I can be doing what I need to do in my household while addressing the public issue of Black male image or Black people image. When you're trying,
you don't have to worry about Black male image if your image is no. Listen, I walk outside every day, and I'm never getting called a nigga. I never get addressed in a negative way. I get addressed respectfully. I get treated with the utmost respect and I get the best opportunities. I don't worry about my image because I'm doing the right thing. I don't have to worry about trying to substantiate my image in front of somebody that I don't give a fuck about.
Your image is important.
Black male image is very
that has communities attached to it. So your image is important.
Hold on. I'm sorry. But in order to kill the Jews, you start to denigrate somebody's image first.
Man, ain't nobody killing you but you. Ain't nobody coming to kill you in America but you.
Nobody said they killed us.
Stop it, bro.
Can I
Go ahead, do your thing, Logic. Do your thing, bro.
But instead of actually putting words in my mouth, I'm not talking about somebody killing us. I'm talking about somebody excluding you from political.
Ain't nobody excluding me. Ain't nobody excluding me.
Black males have been excluded.
No, they haven't.
That's why they suffer so much.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't.
Black males are incarcerated for crime.
Brother, what's up? Hey, thank you for your service, by the way.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you in the Navy?
In the wrong direction.
Yes, sir.
Hey, hold up, little Haiti. Hold on 1 minute. Hey, you're in the Navy, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Is true. The internet is broken.
Oh, hold on. Crime stats in DOD is overwhelmingly. Violent crime stats, Department of Defense is overwhelmingly who? Per capita. Because if
Hold on.
you
go per capita. And you go with per capita, you go with race. I just want to know who the majority of the violent crimes are committed by.
Wait. Look, you're a military brother, though, so you know there was a question mark at the end of that, right?
Yes, I'm answering you.
Okay. Per capita, the same as it is in the civilian sector. per capita. Black people in a 13.6%. White people is over 6%, correct?
You
Hello?
went out a little bit.
All right.
Is that me or you?
No, your logic. You keep
Okay.
going out. You go on out a little bit depending on your mic.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. It just go
Yeah.
out. Yo, if y'all not talking, just mute up. If y'all not talking or answering a question, just mute up. Go ahead. You should be
My
fine. You
whole
should be
thing
good.
is when you look at these things, you got to understand everything per capita. You understand that we only 13.6%. They're 61%,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
So when we look at these stats, the same way you look at the stats in the Department of Defense, the Department of Defense stat will tell you overwhelmingly that young black men are the most violent offenders in Department of Defense. They're responsible
I'm
for the
not
most violent.
disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with you per capita. There's
But that's
there's
what.
a clearly a higher propensity for violence in the black community. That's a clear discussion. That's clear.
Okay,
But then to
but we
say
got to.
the majority the majority of crime in America is committed by black people. 40% of the
No,
crime in
but
America is committed by black
what
people.
you're doing, listen. If you got a community of 15 people and 10 of them get murdered, and then you got another community of 100 people and 16 get murdered, which community has the biggest problem?
Of course, I'm not saying we have the biggest problem. I'm not saying that we don't have a bigger problem with crime than the white community. I'm still saying that you cannot say 40% of the crime in America is committed by black people. That's a lie.
So
It
are you?
is, but
That's not a lie,
that's what
bro.
I'm telling you.
That whole
Only
logic.
2% of the crime in America is committed.
Hey, Mr. Moses, you mute up, bro. Mute up,
Uh,
bro. You got to turn down your internet. Go ahead, Logic.
My point I'm trying to tell you, brother, is just like I know. Every time you hit port, some black niggas gonna do something stupid. Am I correct?
as sailors in general.
No, no, no. An overwhelming number of black niggas gonna commit crimes. Trust me.
No, not
I didn't. I didn't.
the
I,
that's
I didn't.
that's a
I've been on.
lie.
I've been.
If
I've been on boats with y'all.
it depends
Black
on
That's a
what you.
niggas.
lie.
That's
That is
true, but
not
that's
backed up by statistics.
like everywhere.
That's a lie.
That's
All right.
not true for
Hold on,
black
Anton.
people
Let me come
everywhere.
back. I got to
Now,
switch my internet.
per capita, yes. Not overwhelmingly. That's what I'm saying. You can't skip and then say the majority of the sailors who are committing crimes are black. That's a lie. Now, per capita, black ones have a higher propensity to commit crime. But that's per capita. You can't then take that over and say it's the majority. I can't hear you.
Sorry. I don't know military stats. I don't know Navy stats or none of that. If you see that there's a propensity to commit crime, a higher propensity to commit crime amongst people that look like you, what do you address?
I address that. I agree with that. But that's what I deal with every day. So I'm when I'm
So why are you
dealing with
concerned
content,
about anything other than the problems that's happening and plaguing
the
the
majority of the
communities that you
this
participate in?
We're
I'm telling you,
sometimes
the
have the
majority of
conversation
the
with the wrong people. People who aren't
are
looking out for
are
interest, we shouldn't
people
be.
dealing with black people.
That's all I
Not
would say.
this. But I'm watching this and I'm sitting here listening to a lie. But the majority of the content that I listen to actually deals with black internal issues. Now we don't look out at white people. We look at our
No, it's
culture to
not
see what's going on with
the
us.
biggest black
It's a
internal
lie
issue.
to us.
The biggest black internal issue that we have is our inability to take responsibility and accountability for what we see happening in our own communities. That's the
So
biggest.
I'm
What's here?
That's the biggest. That's the
I
biggest
will agree
problem. The
for
biggest
every
problem that we have in our communities is our inability to take responsibility and accountability for what happens in our own communities. That's the biggest problem that we have. Nobody wants to own
I
that. We all want to have conversations
literally
about what white people think. And the minute that somebody wear a White Lives Matters t-shirt, y'all jump off the bridge and y'all get triggered. Y'all jump off the bridge and y'all get
Facts.
triggered. And
I was
instead of you fixing your own house, listen, you will see a homie. You will see a homie selling crack on the corner in your own community, and y'all will spend more time trying to address the black male image instead of actually solving for the problem, which would then solve for the image in itself.
I don't have a
Yep.
homie
what?
that's
Hold on. What are we supposed to do with the black male that's selling crack in this neighborhood? How? What am I supposed
Call
to
the
do with him?
police on
Do I
that
have
motherfucker and get him locked
to
up.
Yep.
get him locked up and then
Call the police.
can't,
Hold on, wait. Let him respond.
you can't lock him up forever? He's gonna come back home.
And lock him up again until he get his stuff together. I don't
Yeah,
want.
but
Let me tell you something.
this guy's been disingenuous,
Talk about
man.
the
Cause
war on drugs.
no,
The war on
wait,
drugs ain't working.
brother. You're a travel man. I know you're a travel man. Why do these other countries not have the drug problems like we do? Because they don't
Because they
tolerate. No,
Because
listen,
they're
they don't
strict.
tolerate government and they don't tolerate in their community. So you know
Facts.
you didn't. I know you look like you're a well-traveled man, and I can tell the uniform you got on you well-traveled. Use your logic. The reason it don't consist in these other places is because they don't tolerate it. See, look, this is your problem. You keep saying, listen. You keep saying they're gonna get out of jail. Well, guess what? Let's do like Russia. You don't get out of jail for goddamn having a goddamn little ounce of weed. Well, weed illegal now, but a little bit of cocaine. Now you getting 10 to 5. I mean 10 to 15 years. You know what niggas stop doing?
Stop
See,
doing the crime.
they'll stop doing the crime, and you know this.
okay,
You know
look,
any type of system that don't bend and fold. Our system is bending and folding right now. That's why you got the Chicago.
they got
That wait,
us.
finish. That's why we got the Chicago Act, right? The new Chicago
That,
Safety Act, whatever. That's tolerating bad behavior.
but
And
that
if
Yep.
the
you know,
America
but listen,
tolerated that for a long
wait,
time.
hold
That
up,
ain't got-
hold up, Seaman. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not a Seaman. I don't know what you. I can't see your rank. But look, shipmate. I'm gonna call you shipmate. Then that's okay.
that's well and fine.
All right. Yeah, shipmate. Look, you know damn well that these laws that they push you, that's supposed to protect us, it's only hurting us. That
Yep.
in their community is not getting. Did you read the Safety Act in
Yes,
Illinois? See,
yes.
their community is not releasing rapists, murderers, all these different individuals not in their community. It's ours.
But that act is for everybody. What are you talking about? They're not releasing rapists.
It-
That act is
But
for
who
not just black
is
people.
it
But that
affected?
doesn't make it
It's not
good.
affecting. It's not affecting them.
I,
If you look at the
I
counties
didn't
with
say it
district,
was good.
go,
It
go
needs to
ahead.
be more strict out here.
I didn't never say the Safety Act was good. Never spoke against the Safety Act. I'm just saying that you can't lie and say black people commit the majority of crime in America when it's a lie.
It said black
But
people.
instead, you say, "Oh,
She
house, you
specifically
go
said,
ahead,
no,
Dad."
no, 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 no. You moving the goalposts. She specifically said that black
Mhm.
people commit 40% of the murders in America. That's what she said.
Yeah. Then she said, "Black people are slaughtering black people."
They
That's
are.
because the majority
They
of crime
are.
committed
That,
is based off of proximity. So
that,
if the
every,
majority of the if 40% of the murders, because she told no lies, if 40% of the murders is committed by black people, and then the majority of crimes are actually committed based off of proximity and people that look like you, then that means that black men are slaughtering black men.
no, that means a small minority of black men are slaughtering black men.
Jesus Christ.
You can't take that on board.
40%
You
is a
can't.
large amount.
Huh?
What
You said
do you
40%.
not listen? Do you
Not
not do?
it's
But listen,
7,000
I want
people.
to ask you a question, right? Do you not think 40%? Hey, somebody echoing. I think dude sitting on the couch.
Greg, you gotta fix your audio. You gotta remove the YouTube from the background, Greg, so we can actually Have it, turn your YouTube down, bro.
Do you not think 40% is crazy? Just say if it was 30%.
That, yes,
Wait, wait, wait,
it is. It's a
wait,
problem.
wait,
A
bro,
black
wait,
problem.
bro, wait, man. Let me finish. Do you think 40% is crazy for somebody that's less than 13% of the population? And see, I'm not breaking down the males and the females. If you break down the males and the females, let's just say we cut it in half, which we know is more black females than black males. So we said the black males is around 7% of our population. If you said 7% of one group is committing 40% of these violent crimes, isn't that I don't at that point, I don't give a fuck what
That's
nobody else doing. Because guess
that's
what?
crazy. That's savage.
Because they're doing that, I'm gonna tell you what that do to me and you. That makes us stereotype. We become now we in a situation that they gonna stereotype us. Because now they say, hold on, wait. And then do you blame them? 7% of one group is committing
Yes.
40% of violent crimes. They
No,
turn us
I
into
do you I do you one better, Logic. I do you one better. Are you
Into the
walking into the wrong spaces without your pistol on you? Are you leaving your
murder.
doors? Are you leaving the car doors of your car unlocked in the wrong neighborhoods?
No, once again, no, absolutely. I understand what y'all are saying. It's a problem, a very big problem, but it is being
So why you trying to
sensationalized.
walk and chew gum at the same time and try? Listen, you ain't got to try to fix the black male image because the black male image is a piece of shit.
Everybody responsible of you. It's responsible of you. It's responsible of all of us to fix the black male image.
Correct, and that's why I actually do
Mhm.
what I do on a regular
So
basis.
why?
I have
why
mentorship programs in which I reach out to young guys. I
but
mentor guys from
you
the
know,
ages of 14 through 24. I actually pour money into my communities. All of these different things that I'm doing on a regular basis is actually to
I
fix the
appreciate it.
issue instead of trying to train people to see things and the male optics. I don't care about optics. I only care about literally my slogan is I only care about the results, bro.
I respect that. Respect that. But what I'm saying is, you still have to care
You're
about the
muted.
image. Kevin Samuels said it's important. You can't get on here. You can't do all the good in the community and then come on here and denigrate the black male image.
I
You
don't
have
have
to
to
just at least
denigrate
be
it. The
fair.
statistics is real. What are you talking about?
No, no, no.
Nobody has to
Once
do
again,
that
black
because
people,
we're fucking
black
ourselves
people,
up.
black, black people is a lie. A
How?
what's a
Yo,
lot.
yo,
small
yo, yo, yo,
minority
yo,
of black
yo.
How is that a lie?
Hold on. Wait. I got a question. Smith, how old are you, bro?
I am 34.
You 34, and you're concerned about the black male image. Is that what you're saying?
What black male shouldn't be? Yes.
Jesus Christ.
But hey, Smith, who produced the black male image?
Mass media, which we don't
So
own.
wait, wait,
Now,
The
wait,
individual. The
You
individual.
telling so you telling me Fox News, CNN, MSNBC create the male image, or do they present what we present?
Lionsgate, no, Paramount, Lionsgate, Interscope Records, Warner Brothers, Universal, those, all of that together creates a black male image.
Of
No, what they
course,
do,
but individuals
I
on a
would,
daily
I,
basis.
I would agree with you
Huh?
that they capitalize off the negativity of the black male image.
Yeah, they
But do you
They
capitalize
take
on
the,
it, but
they,
individuals do it.
but
they
that's a different argument. Wait, hold up, wait,
that's not
Smitty,
the argument.
because
That's the
I,
argument.
listen,
Y'all
they
just
do
negative
create,
amongst us. Yeah, listen.
they do
So only a
create.
third of black men, only a third of
Go
black
ahead.
men go to jail. Only a third. So y'all take that third and then cast it on to all black men. So when they say black men ain't shit, y'all agree with it. And it's a lie.
Okay.
It's only
Now,
a minority of black men.
Okay, now what I'm trying to tell you is what you don't understand. I agree. They're capitalized off of the black male image, right? I agree. Well, I was sick to my stomach. God damn, nigga, I just let you go. Hold up. I agree. They capitalized off of it. I was sick to my stomach when the little baby was the first black person that went to the White House under the goddamn current administration. I was sick to my stomach, right? Cool. Yes, they would promote it. Cool. I get it. But they promote it because we promote it.
Yep.
Every it's seriously smart black people. Atlanta, listen, Atlanta is the capital of entrepreneurship, right? And then every time you see them need anything, they call in the TIs of the world and the Killer Mikes, and then they call in a rapper and they call in an ex-gang banger, you know what I'm saying? Or they throw a party for Big Meech, but never throw a party for the goddamn dude who graduated from goddamn Cornell with a 4.0 GPA from Atlanta. They only, only, we only promote the nigga shit. So guess what the
Anton
world
does
would
more than that.
do and follow what we do. We only promote the nigga shit. The city girls are on top for a reason in the black community. Because guess what? That's who the black community want to be on top. Candace Owens
That
is not a common household name for the ages of 14 to 21-year-old black females. But guess who is the household name from 14 to 21-year-old females? The city
Meg the
girls.
Stallion.
The WAP
Who
City
girls.
that?
girls.
Is that a media problem? Because if you want to be honest, if you look at media, you will see the likes of Candace Owens. If you look at news, you will see the likes of Candace Owens. And even I can disagree with a lot of these other black female political figures that's mostly on the left, but you will see the likes of them. But they have no impact on the community. That's why Candace
Tell
Owens didn't even sit and interview Joe Biden. Who sat and interviewed Joe Biden, my brother?
Cardi B,
Cardi B.
baby. Cardi B.
You know who did?
Because she
You know who did?
represents Cardi B represents what is the current state of black America.
And that's
No,
shameful.
Every time revolt
no,
duty, do you look at
no. She
revolt?
doesn't.
Go ahead.
Listen, bro. Y'all say this is what the black community messes with. We were rocking with KRS-One. We were rocking with Public Enemy. They got rid of that. They got rid of all that. We rock with J. Cole. We rock with Kendrick. So that's still a market. But even then, they shape your desires and tastes because they control what comes out. They control what is being produced. So they sold
Nah,
too
you
short.
gotta reprogram your own
They,
subconscious. You control
they,
yourself.
you. I'm speaking of logic.
Who
They
are
sold
they?
too short. You can't make this positive.
Who are they?
His
Exactly.
record
Who's
label,
that?
the record label,
The record label?
the record
Listen,
label,
bro, you do realize
the
hold on, hold on,
record
hold
label.
on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You do realize that it's worse than ever as far as the type of music that's being put out. Record labels don't even start to sign people until they know that you already got an audience and you hot. It ain't no record labels. It ain't no radio no more. Let me ask you another question. When the last time you heard of a country music artist killing another country music artist or them getting killed or robbed in a specific neighborhood?
You don't hear about it.
When the last time that you heard of a classical music artist getting robbed and killed in another neighborhood? Not even by another rapper, just from regular
Exactly.
everyday neighborhoods. When the last time have you heard of
Corny. This is this is corny. This is like in
it's corny? No, it's real, bro.
white
It's
people are
It's
real.
not corny.
$100,000.
It's not corny. It's real that the black community is the
It's
most
corny.
victim mentality, victim
You
Olympics.
so wait.
That's
You
what's
saying
corny.
so you hold on, wait. Let me get Twan in here, and then I also want to get Moses in here. Twan, what's your thoughts, bro?
I was thinking about our community. So when you're saying our community, Tariq Nasheed has said something about this as well. He has said that a lot of our community isn't really our community. We have these islanders, what is it, South Americans, all of these. Now, Logic, you are right. The numbers, even if it was 40%, 30%, is still fucking high. But the whole thing is they group in all the criminals in our community, but then they say the ones that are doctors and lawyers and stuff, they're not part of our community. So they'll take the doctors and lawyers and put it in their community. But then when the bad ones are the ones that's getting locked up, the ones that's killing or whatever, they throw them in our community because they look like us.
You wrong, bro. You
You
wrong.
definitely
That's not true.
You wrong
That's not
again.
true.
Nobody is listen. The only thing that they said is these are the numbers. They don't differentiate. They don't separate. They don't separate with other communities when they say this. Let me tell you the difference between black people and white people, bro. And this is just from my perspective. White people that have don't fuck with white people that don't. White people that's upstanding citizens separate themselves from white people that's not doing what they're supposed to do. Asian people do the same thing. For some reason, I'm supposed to hold near and dear to my heart niggas.
Yep.
The lowest common denominator.
Why do I have to hold near and dear to my heart to make sure that my image is a reflection or make these guys look better than they already are? The problem with us,
Who cares? Exactly.
is that we need to listen. I mean, let me tell you the difference. If you are an upstanding citizen, if you are paying your taxes, if you are doing right, if you are not committing crime, you are my brother. You my brother. If you are a person that operate as the lowest common denominator, I have nothing for you but smoke. I have nothing for you but smoke. You're not my brother. We not friends. You're not a part of the black community. Now, I will extend my hand and say, yo, how can I help you? How can I pour into you? You know what I'm saying? You need to change your life around or whatever. But if you are the lowest common denominator, I have nothing but for you but smoke, bro. That's all I got for you. That's it. Nothing more.
Big fan.
And I don't understand what the problem is. Why can't we separate ourselves from the worst of the community? I don't want to be around y'all.
That's the energy that we need. That's the energy that's needed. The reason we're stereotyped so much in a negative way is because we are in the victim mentality and we want to be negative. That's not cool.
But look, this is the crazy part about it, right? See, and I'm glad the shipmate, I don't know why he left, but the thing is, at one point in time, see, you can't win with black people because I think he's young. But at one point in time, white people tried to censor black people music. They tried to censor it.
They
They
did.
used to put all ass tags on it.
You are
said,
so
hey,
right, Logic. You're right.
What?
You're right. You're right, bro. You are absolutely 100% right.
Nancy Reagan?
We fought it.
Yes, we fought it. And
It
people
was
finna get
Barbara
mad.
Bush.
No, wait. Before that, wait. Hold up. Literally,
It was Barbara
white
Bush
people.
and Nancy Reagan.
Hold up. Wait. We said they told us this music is bad. They put this parental advisory shit on there. It was big ass tags on it. They even made you separate it in the record stores. It was insane. They wouldn't play none of our crazy music videos. They banned Luke 2 Live Crew. All them niggas used to get kicked off the stage for playing this destructive music. We came back and said this is racist. We came back and said this is racist. You can't do it. Then there was a black woman, the woman that I wish I could marry if she was still alive today. Her name was the beautiful Miss Dolores Tucker. She said this music will destroy our kids for generations and generations on.
Wow.
A whole bunch of ghetto black bitches told her she was racist. She hated Tupac. She was a player hater. She was a jealous person or whatever. And them black bitches got rid of her. And
She was a
now
prophet.
everything she said came to truth. Now you got these little young niggas that come on the panel saying it was the record labels. No, the record labels try to protect us from ourselves. But because we're America and it's freedom of speech, then they let it go on. And then now to his thing, what he's saying. Did you hear the shit that Nicki Minaj did about her video, Anton?
Nah, what she do?
Her video, she got a video where her ass was out, right? And it was on YouTube, right? They restricted it, right? You know what I'm saying? With the kids restriction, right? The bitch went crazy. She went crazy. So, like I'm telling you, when he's saying he's trying to blame these record labels, no, you need to blame these niggas and nigga bitches because they the ones that's going crazy because they want their freedom of speech. The same way when we see Atlanta, they goddamn sit here and said, hey, niggas, stop rapping about killing and telling this truth in your raps because we gonna use it against you. Then California gonna come along and say, hey, let me protect the niggas. And then California passed a law that said, hey, you can't use their lyrics against them. So now, another version of him, this Lucilla dude, in 20 years gonna come back and say, hey, see, they let us goddamn put our killing in our lyrics. No, niggas, you niggas wanted that. They tried to save us from it, but you niggas want to be
Facts.
free at the same time. You cannot, and I agree with Patriarch. Rest in peace to Patriarch. I know he banned from this panel, but I gotta say that. But I gotta say this. I said I agree with him. Some of these niggas don't need to vote. It should be some kind of test that we take to prove that you have common sense to
I
vote.
agree.
Because
I agree.
you
Facts.
niggas
Yeah.
on behalf of me
Gotta
and you
own
voted.
something. You should go back to the same laws where we used to own. Like you couldn't vote unless you had land or property or something like that.
Yes,
Responsibility.
Facts.
If you had a
you have
responsibility,
skin in
because
the
a lot
game.
of people don't have responsibility. It's no
Yes, you
A
different
need
lot
than
to
of
have
people
skin
don't
in
have
the game. Because a
responsibility.
bitch in the projects don't got nothing to lose. And she
yep.
don't care. Her vote can be sold. Right now, they can do a twerk video or a horny ass nigga can look at some old dust ass hoe and say, oh shit, my dick hard because of her. Let me go vote for her. No. You need to have skin in the game. And I agree with Patriarch. That's it.
I agree. I
But it's
agree
really also the
100%.
parenting. Oh, sorry, Mr.
No,
Anton.
go ahead. You could kick it. Do your thing, bro.
Nah, I'm just gonna say, like for me, I mean, I'm 38. I'll be honest out here, and there's a lot of things in my young 20s. I argued with my parents, and I said this is the culture, and they're mean, and this, that, and the other, and they're telling me not to sag my pants and all this stuff, and I'm just being stupid, not realizing it's for my better good, because they see the bigger picture. But a lot of people, honestly, man, like most of the things you got to realize in society, like it's not to your benefit, and especially in today's time, it's not to your benefit, and it comes down to parenting, I believe. And there's a lot of bad parents, and then also these kids out here are just savage, but they're gonna learn the hard way. That's all I can say, Mr. Anton.
Any final words? Any final words, y'all?
Y'all hit it on the nail.
I got, hey, Anton, this how
My only
niggas
thing,
is the
like I
straight.
said, my only thing, I thought it was just her numbers were off a little bit, but like you said, logic, if it's 40%, it's still high. 30% is still high. Like it's overwhelmingly still high. But the only thing about it is, like I said, looking at it, I do feel like they group us in together in a community when we're not really a community. Like a lot of us is not community organized or whatever. Like it's separate communities. If you get, for example, if you move to another state or whatever, we're not gonna, what I'm saying, click together the same way as if an Indian or um, someone over from overseas, when they come over and move over, they all work together as a actual community. So I don't believe it's not a community of us.
Okay, hey, can I ask you a question though? And then I'm finna,
Yeah,
and I hope you listen to me. What is the white community? Show me where the white community is at.
There's no such thing.
No such thing.
you're
Show
right.
me an Asian.
They're just
I can show
people. They're
you.
just doing their thing. They got standards, and I think once you reach a certain standard, it's success.
sound like he listens a lot of Tariq Nasheed. So it's
No, just
so
a few things. Like I said, I'm just not because I
no,
do
no,
agree.
no.
Like I said, I agree with
I'm
Candace
not.
Owens. It's just some of the
I'm
stuff
not.
with Tariq Nasheed. I was trying to
I'm,
put it into
I'm your point. Make a bigger point. I'm not coming at you.
yeah.
So would you agree? It's no Asian community. It's no white community. It's no Native American community. It's nothing but a black community. What do they have? They have tribes.
Organization. Yeah, there you
No,
go.
they have tribes, right? So that's how the white community can have trailer park niggas that they don't give a fuck about, that they separate themselves from, and then they have the people who's doing good in the middle class. They have tribes, right? But
Yeah.
we don't have tribes because we can have a nigga like Kanye West and fucking LeBron James talking about the niggas in the hood. Show me a white folks talking about the project. Show me one news clip of any white person of any status talking about the shit that happened in the fucking trailer parks. And it's more trailer parks than there is goddamn projects.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
why? They don't give a fuck because they say these niggas or these white niggas is not in our tribe, right? They
Facts.
Yeah.
got people who
We
Facts.
need to do the same thing.
the people who represent them need to take care of them, but we're responsible for our tribe. Why do you not think that they associate anything, nobody in America associate anything with the trailer parks to the rest of people in white America? Because they're tribal. We're the only people not tribal. We have this imaginary community shit, and then that's how we easily get goddamn sucked up in it. Because we advocate for these niggas in the projects, knowing that they're killing each other, knowing that George Floyd goddamn should have died 10 years ago, knowing that Breonna Taylor was a fucking drug dealer, knowing that all these niggas that they put on there and they group us in the black community. No, you never saw the white community on news. You never. Show me one clip that said the white community, the Asian community. No, they identify them as tribes and they're responsible for what they do.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Can't argue with you. Can't argue with you on that one.
I'm not in them niggas' tribe. Nigga, my tribe is nigga in I ain't no goddamn niggas out here. And I like it like that. Cause I don't get grouped
Facts.
with no niggas out here. They look at
Facts.
me as, hey, he in his own tribe. Hopefully I can get some more niggas to come up here that don't do nigga shit. And I would gladly welcome y'all. But I don't want to be associated with no niggas because they're gonna lose me business opportunities, gonna lose me business chances. And guess what? Fairly, it might get me killed. I don't want to look nothing like these niggas no more. These niggas
Same.
goddamn look. Hey, soon as too many niggas start getting beard, I'm cutting my shit.
Hey, logic. I kid you not, bro. I was thinking today. Bro. I was like, yo, I need to cut my beard down. There's too many niggas that got beards around me, bro. I promise you, bro. I ain't say I was gonna cut it off. I said I need to cut it down. I was like, yo, I don't know, bro. I might have to pivot for a minute. I promise you, bro.
I was thinking
Bro,
about moving from my neighborhood because too many niggas down here.
I'm telling you. But we need to make our own tribe. And this is the
I
downfall I
got my
put on.
tribe already, Logic.
Well, I know you got the bag chasing tribe, but they all over. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got them centrally located that you can have a decent influence. Like you need a I told you this before. You need a DC chapter. You need to have a president of the DC chapter. Cause I know there's a lot of bag chasers out here. I'll be the president. you need no, you need
Anton
chapter.
Daniels Motorcycle Club.
No, we do. He bag chase, and I told Anton this long time ago. I tried to talk to him about a bag chaser merch, but
You
he
did.
ain't listen to me.
No, it's coming.
Yeah,
I got my studio and my building together. So I just got the keys yesterday and I got the painters in there. And so I just need to finish one
yeah,
thing
but
at a
no,
time.
that's actually starting a
Congrats.
tribe. If it started with something
But
like
isn't
a bag,
success a tribe?
But we need tribes. We don't have tribes. And
Wouldn't you
it
say
gotta be,
just say being successful is a tribe?
but we can't know. The thing about the tribes is that if you got, say you got 2,000 bag chasers, right? And they all split over across the United States. They don't have that immediate influence. Like you gonna have to really say, hey, look, you know what? I'm gonna get a DC chapter. I'm gonna get a Atlanta chapter, which you're gonna have a lot of flaming hot niggas in the Atlanta chapter. But we ain't gonna get it. But these chapters now, so you start creating these true tribes. That's what they do. Every other community understand that fuck a community because it's impossible to influence a group of people that got different economic outcomes. They got, it's too much to try to influence that. So what they do is they create their tribes. They got a lot of commonality. You ain't got a lot of broke ass niggas. So if you try to raise money to do something, then it gonna get done. They create tribes. We still live in a community zone. That's why we always begging to the motherfucking government.
It's not a
I'm
bad
sorry.
idea. Well, listen, on that note, we can wrap it up. Logic for president.
No.
Logic is the president of the DC.
Hey, if y'all think Elijah should be the president of the DC bag chasing chapter, put a one in the motherfucking chat.
One, press one.
All right, listen, y'all. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thanks, Logic. I appreciate you, big dog. Twan, I appreciate you. Moises, I appreciate you too, dog. Thank you, bro. All right, Logic.
And I thank y'all.
I be easy.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with us. Thank you for tapping in for the live stream today. I'm going to kindly ask that you guys hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. And then last but not least, make sure you tap into the Bag Chasers University. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for continuing to rock with us. We're going to do the same thing tomorrow. You know how we get down. But I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here. Make sure you share this with your family and friends because we don't want to be successful by ourselves. Share this, subscribe. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Let's get it, family. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.